Hello gamers, Benign Chaos here, and it is exciting times with the Olympics going on, but alas, I'm not here to talk about the Olympics. I'm here to talk to you guys about the latest week in gaming and what I found the most interesting of all the stuff that I've heard and played, so I'll get right into it. First on the list is something that I've not had a chance to talk about in the past, but is something that I've been keeping an eye on. I'm talking about Banner Saga. This is an indie game that's coming out on PC, definitely. The possibility of release on Xbox Live Arcade and PSN has come up previously. I don't know what status that's in. But for those that don't know about this is a game created by Stoic. And Stoic was founded in early 2012 by a couple guys that used to work in BioWare, specifically worked on Star Wars: The Old Republic. And Banner Saga is a beautifully crafted game, not out yet, still in development, I should say. And it's a 2D graphics, turn-based strategy role-playing game set in a Norse setting. And just a couple days ago, they released a screenshot of one battle scenario, and it just looks beautiful. This isn't the first time they've released a screenshot or video of the game, but visual details on the game are scarce, and it's beautiful to see it. So I'm showing you some of the screenshots in the picture now, but if you want to learn more about the game, you can go to bannersaga.com, and you can learn a lot more about it, especially in the forums, in the community section. And I'm just really looking forward to this game. There will be multiplayer in the game, and it's supposed to be a game that's aimed more at mature audiences, which I'm really looking forward to. They're trying to avoid a lot of the fantasy type stuff with this setting. The art style really appeals to me. The game is going to have a lot of decision making, with decisions having very real consequences later in the game, and it just sounds like something that's really awesome. Another thing that I have to talk about really is Final Fantasy Versus XIII. I'm sure most of you have heard about this already, but in case you haven't, last week I mentioned that this game was quote-unquote cancelled, according to an article from Kotaku. It's since been announced by someone at Square Enix, I don't even remember who, this is how much I care, that the game is indeed not cancelled, and they had just come out of a meeting about the game, and they had been shown an in-progress build of the game, and it's very much still going. So we're still going to get that. Woot, 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 whatever. Not really high on my priority list anymore. This kind of stuff I never really understand when they announce something so far in advance, and it's just, you can only remain hyped about something for so long. I don't understand the rationale behind announcing a game and then keeping it under wraps and under development for so long that there's no way anybody could still be excited about it. For me, the hype period can only, I think for me, it could pretty much only last about a year before dying down significantly. And to last over 6 months, the game has to look really awesome for me. But this kind of stuff is frustrating to me. Another piece of news that I want to talk about is that Fur Fighters is coming to iOS systems. Fur Fighters was originally released on Dreamcast, so this is another Dreamcast release coming out, similar to Jet Set Radio. But this was also re-released on PS2, and this is a game that I really love. The PS2 version had cel-shaded graphics, whereas the Dreamcast one was more traditional polygonal graphics. And this is a third-person shooter. You control one of 6 characters that are animals. If I remember correctly, shouldn't be doing this off the top of my head, but if I remember correctly, you have a dog, a cat, a kangaroo, a red panda, a penguin, and a dragon. And you go around beating up teddy bears and trying to save your family. Also, if I remember correctly, this game wasn't particularly well received by the community, but I really loved this game. It had a multiplayer mode that I actually played with my dad a lot, and we had a lot of good times with this one. So I'm looking forward to this, but as always, experiencing a little trepidation about the touchscreen controls, especially with shooters. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes, but I would love to have any excuse to play Fur Fighters again. This is a pretty long game, lots of puzzles and exploration, and going back and just collecting things, and pretty darn funny. I think one of my favorite things about that game was being able to shoot the heads off of the bears, because all the animals in the game are actually stuffed animals. So when you shoot something, there's no blood, but instead you have fluff flying everywhere. And if you shot a bear, the head would pop off, and you'd have stuffing just flying out of their necks, and they'd like try to grasp their head because it's missing. Oh. It's you really had to be there. Oh dear. Anyway, last piece of news that I wanted to talk about is that according to an article on Silicon Era last week, Satoru Iwata, president of Nintendo, recently stated that future portable devices from Nintendo will likely still use 3D, and I know that this is an old discussion about whether the 3D is needed, whether people appreciate the 3D, but now that people have had time to get used to the 3D, I'm kind of curious to hear what you guys think, so please leave a comment about this. But he said that future handhelds will use the 3D as well, most likely, because he believes that while it's, now that there's been the 3DS, it's not enough as a focal point of another handheld device. They need something more. He does feel it adds something, and I personally 100% agree with him. I play my 3DS all the time, and I use the 3D on Max Effect as often as I can, and I don't get headaches or anything. I don't get any of these health warning things that people are so worried about, and I don't see how any of that's possible. But more than that, I feel like it does add to the graphics. It does add to the immersion during gameplay. I do play some games that are 2D, such as normal DS games on there, and it always feels a little bit flat to me now, and even playing things on home consoles feel a little flat to me. I don't have a 3D TV, so things that aren't in 3D, I miss that, and I really enjoy it on the 3DS, so I do want to see more of that, and I'd be interested to hear what you guys think. For those of you that have a 3DS, or even have a 3D TV, do you use the 3D a lot? Do you like the 3D? Are you happy that more further future consoles, or at least future handheld systems, will likely contain 3D visuals from Nintendo? Let me know. Post a comment. And that brings me to the end of this week's interesting gaming stuff. If you liked the video, please rate, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like the video, you can still rate and comment. And thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next one.